right. So, Big Kain Man. This is, what, the third time in total?
For the Kain,
For the Kain,
if you include
include the
all
prep.
of the, yeah, I think this is the first actual Kain one.
Oh yeah,
But
okay.
we did 3 prep videos first.
Yeah, we did some of those. So the prep,
it was a lot.
yeah. Would you say the prep paid off? Did it help you streamline the process?
For the most part, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
RNG giveth and taketh.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we get to the gear, you'll see my CRA is 21 star. I boomed 1 penciler overall to get the 3 pieces to 21. It was ridiculous. It was like 5 bill or something.
You went 22 to 21 or 21 to 20 and Bob?
21 to 20 and then tapped.
Yeah, and then tapped. Wow, and only 1 penciler piece boomed and no CRA boomed.
Correct.
Damn. All right. Yeah, that definitely gets you that buffer that you need for other items that might be not quite as lucky.
Yeah, and then I boomed 5 Meister rings.
Yeah.
Like a week later. So
cool. And probably like not even seeing 18 or something like that, or like
I saw
seeing
19
once. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Predictable. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're 260 now. Are you?
I am.
Yeah. You've got a e-boy vein breathing down your neck. Yeah, just kidding.
Nah, he can.
I know you're not racing.
Fine.
I know you're not racing,
Yep.
but it's cool to see 2 Kains going so hard in the guild. Just in general, you know, people. Because I mean, I don't like necessarily like respect people throwing their social lives away to get levels in MapleStory, but to me it looks like people are actually enjoying the class and having fun with it, and that's always good to see. Because I remember with Pathfinder in the beginning, people jumped on it, but then pretty quickly it was like, for like the further they went, they kind of like fell out of love with it, right? And people kind of like abandoned them again and went doing other stuff. Very few people really stuck with it, but it seems Kain has more like personality that allows people to really latch onto and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool to see. And they're getting some buffs, you know?
Yeah, 2 sets of buffs.
Yeah, because they're underperforming in KMS, so that's also good. Like if you're already enjoying it now, and that's going to pay off in the future for extra push. Okay, so you have a screenshot here with you buffed. And
Fully buffed, yep.
How big you can get. No decent sharp eyes?
Look, man, I didn't use any of my decents for that.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
let's just add 8% more crit damage to that.
Well, it'd be 13, right?
Oh yeah, because the 10% crit.
Because 10 crit
yep.
rate, yeah. So it's like
Oh,
13% crit damage.
Yeah, I'm. But when you have a
Throwing.
181,
Yeah.
like really,
Yeah.
what
Where's
is
that 200?
what is
Come
13
on.
more?
Yeah, well, that does
It's
make us.
additive, yeah, I know.
Yeah, you do get to the point where if you calculate it all, it might get to the point where kinesis isn't even the best link skill for you to get anymore, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's comparable to some of the other ones.
Because a lot of the alternatives will be percentage damage, which, I mean, you'd also have a lot of percentage damage, but when the reboot passive kicks in and you have this much critical damage, that might make like the standard, like the Kana link or something, maybe even better, right?
Yeah. Oh, in the screenshot, I don't have my familiars out either.
So that IED, yeah, you did have boss ones already, right? Is that what I
have
heard?
80% boss and familiars.
And IED
I don't think I
wise,
have any screenshots of them.
okay, well that's fine. But like functionally, the IED, does it go higher than this?
I think I'm at 95.5. So not much more.
Okay. Well, I mean, this could be like 93.1, so if you get another percentage and a half over that, you have party buffs. Okay, so like 95.5. Yeah, because do you have anything else other than like the standard passive effects?
I think there's a hyper skill, a hyper passive that I tend to use for the execution skills.
Yeah, for the execution skills, right? Was that an extra?
Yeah.
It's a decent one, right?
25.
It's like 25. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
Well,
what
it was either that or like 50 more range on the Dragon Fang. Like, who cares?
Yeah, not that amazing. I mean, it's already a pretty big range, so you can't really miss bosses with that too much.
Right.
Especially since there's a decent amount of stationary bosses, so they'll gladly take the whole thing to the face, right?
Yep.
When it comes to execution, like what part of your damage would come from the execution skills, would you say, in like a BA?
For the normal ones, like not including the fifth job one, like 10-15%.
Mm-hmm. But the fifth job one is a big chunk, right?
Yeah, yeah. The fifth job, Fatal Blitz, is like 10%, 15% by itself, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our biggest skill is the bubble, which is 22.
The one that builds stacks up and then you throw.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it's on a ridiculously long cooldown for. Yeah, it's the first buff we're getting is they're reducing the uptime and the cooldown.
Right.
So we can it becomes part of small bursts instead of big burst.
That's always better because I mean it'll make your BA maybe suffer a little bit, but in the long term your DPM goes up, and that's just what you want to see. You want to be able to do anything. We want to be able to do something during every single burst and during every single bind, and you in general it's just better to have, because it's probably going to do like more than half the damage every time, right? So overall it's going to increase your damage, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Which means that you don't have to... Anything that's like a DOT can be cool, but it does mean that someone has to stay in it the whole time to fully commit all the damage. And the shorter it is, and percentage-wise, the more damage gets committed in a shorter amount of time, it just makes it more reliable that you can actually commit all the damage. Not even in like a dummy situation where it's always standing in there, but an actual moving boss as well. That's always a good change. Yeah, I don't think I can glean anything else. I mean, like interoperability, I'm guessing you're just waiting until the KMS changes before you commit to anything there.
Yeah, I definitely didn't just blow 4 million honor experience trying to get 20% crit. No, I would never do that.
Oh god. Wait, you blew honor experience to get 20 crit?
Yeah.
Oh, not the... Not following the rules there, Smidley. Not following the guide there.
It's okay.
Is it though? Now you have 200k. And you have all that. You had all that money left too that you could have thrown into circulators instead.
Yeah, even so, with the 5, 10, 15 coming up, like I suspected it was coming, so I didn't want to spend too much.
Right.
I will get much more gains out of all of the craziness that will be this 5, 10, 15 than trying to fix interoperability.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, and I'm not saying necessarily like going for the perfect interoperability, but I know that's a process over time. But you know, you could get some lucky circulators. You know, like remember the circulator I got on my Demon Avenger?
No, I don't think I was there for that.
I just used a few to try to get the legendary, and I rolled 20 meso, 15 drop rate, like just on a circ. So it's like,
wow.
Yeah, like that can happen, you know. If you're rolling a bunch of circulators, that can be something pretty nice in there. Because like my interoperability from my Adele also originally like came off of a circulator, right? That helped it get the 10% cooldown reduction and a little bit of drop rate on the last one, and then roll the top line for Meso. Because even then, that doesn't necessarily have to be an expenditure of like 40 bill in circulators or a 4 million honor experience, but that can be like 4 or 5 bill in circulators and maybe like a few 100k or like up to like 300-400k or something honor experience, and that can actually get you something that's substantially better than what you have now. But yeah, the step from there to having like the perfect best in slot one is like an insurmountable, insane amount. But I'm definitely thinking that since you only have the 20 miles obtained, there's definitely like a jump in between where there's still decent returns, I would say. So don't completely write that off yet.
Yeah.
But do you have any kind of level in mind that you definitely want to reach? Because like Mesoptane is, of course, really good if you keep leveling, but if you do have the money backup, and you want to just big dick it more during bosses, although I think your bossing damage is probably fine, right? Like our party's gotten way faster with you getting stronger. Definitely noticed like the whole run's getting faster as well.
So the end goal is Black Mage in January. So that's gonna take a lot of work.
Yeah.
I should hit, if I can train in Cernium this month, which is a big if, I should hit 263 this month. So 266, 267 in October. So, you know, I'm hoping by the end of the year I'm in the like 271, 272 range.
And have you been able to contact any like Kains who've already gone there, and like how strong they needed to be to be able to train there somewhat?
I've talked to Felix a little bit. He's So Felix is in-game name is Eclipse, and he was the first 250. He's only 262 right now. But he's, you know, he doesn't feel like three-shotting in Cernium is worth losing all of the mezzo that you get from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you do have the mezzo and you do have the familiars and you don't need the droplets, of course, then that takes a lot of the arguments off the board for you. What kind of raids did he get in Cernium with like that kind of power? It's probably still better than Limina though, right?
Yeah, he didn't say.
Oh, he didn't say. Okay.
No. So later this weekend, I'm gonna run one in like the foot soldier map. I think it's, what is it? Like Rocky Overlook 2 or something.
Oh, like the way lowest one.
Yeah, because I'm 260, right?
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, level gap, the power gap. But you're building that sacred now, right?
Yep. Level 2.
Yes.
Level 2 yesterday.
Did that.
God, that was expensive. Did not enjoy that.
I just leveled it to, what was it, level 6, I think? And yeah, this one was like 550 mil. For level 5 to 6. It gets pretty nutty. And now it's 444 symbols at 10 a day. That's a month and a half of dailies in 2 areas.
And then it's like a bill when you do finally get them.
It's probably at this level it's already gonna be like 700 plus, and then the next level is probably gonna be close to a bill, And the other symbol slowly but surely leveling, but that's only 5 a day, so that's a snail's pace too.
Yeah, I know. That's how many I'm getting.
Yeah.
At least my not sacred power, arcane force is doing pretty good. Yep. Everything is either 16, 15, or 14. So.
Okay, that's good shit. Yeah. And the current event, are you jumping on the middle train a little bit there to get the symbols leveled up faster?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on now. I've got 2 days worth in the goo battle.
Yep. Okay. Good. Yeah. How much do you need to do? Like 4 days or something to get the whole tree?
I think it's 5. Because there's 6 of the skills.
3 and 4, and then 3 and then 4. Yeah, and then 5. Yeah, 4.5, but rounding up to 5. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
So.
Okay. Cool. What part of your so like you use that what is it, Gunnar's Descent, right? The Black Dragon dude?
Thanatos Descent?
Oh, sorry, yeah, that one. Gunnar's
the
Gunnar's the other guy.
That's Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's Dark Knight, the other Descent.
It's hard to tell. So most of the value comes from the damage buff it gives the rest of your skills and the
is it percentage
like
damage?
Resistance.
Yeah, knockback resistance and percentage damage. Is that what it gives?
At level 30, it gives me. God, where is it? 45% damage. It's also Thanatos Descent.
Thanatos. That's the name of the dragon, though, right?
I believe so.
I think isn't that like the spirit of the. Hey, this is your lore, okay?
Bro, I still have not actually done the Kain story.
Not mandatory, not doing.
Basically, I started it and was like, wow, I'm really bored. I'm gonna go do something else.
Yeah, 45% damage. Yeah.
Yep.
Malice periodically increases by 40. Malice created when Whisper Shot skills hit increased by 35.
I almost never have a problem with the whole possession skill anyway, so like I don't notice the Malice generation.
Yeah, exactly. You just spam it a little bit more, but what is the damage on those little because you don't even have the toggle on, I see that. Like the little red balls. What are they?
It's
if you kill quickly, do they actually do anything ever?
So the ones that get left on the ground can actually like kill the next wave.
Right, so that's this one, right? Like in the screenshot, this one? Little black thing with the red circle?
Yeah, no, that's Fangblade.
Okay.
And yeah, those just kind of fly around and kill whatever you miss. So Kain's biggest mobbing problem is number of mobs hit, which is why I think Sacrix had such a hard time with it. And the Fangblades help take care of some of that.
Because he's used to like standing in the middle of the map and just one tapping, and just doing like
Right.
power and numbers, right? Because of his totem.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he has to
Kain
attack.
doesn't really work
Yeah.
that way.
No.
So.
No. It's more like a happy medium between not the biggest maps, but like the medium-sized maps you can control with your movement plus the hitboxes of the skill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've trained in most of the same maps that Arcs do.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel kind of similar in that way.
Yeah.
Because Arc is also like that mobility plus attacking kind of thing going on. Do you do the thing where you like dash and then use your execute skill, dash again, execute skill, dash again, like that kind of thing?
Not when I'm mobbing. I almost always do that when I'm getting to the Commercy though, because they're just
Yeah, it's so annoying.
so
to get
many
there.
maps. Like, oh,
Yeah. Oh, I hate that they took that teleport away.
they did. But yeah, so the damage from both of the toggles, like you don't notice it until it's not there. It's a lot like the Angelic Buster Seekers.
Right.
So
on bossing, it does do some stuff, you would say.
yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm. And for mobbing, it's like pretty situational, but it does more than you would notice.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, let's pull up the progression chart because I'm gonna guess that you're vaguely familiar with this. I'm probably just blowing through this in rapid pace.
Yeah. I think my worst section is my flame scores.
Yeah, because I think I saw your cape that was probably a bit lower than everything else, but some of the stuff is also really good, so it probably compensates.
Yeah.
I'm just
My
scrolling through a
gloves
little
and
bit.
my shoes are ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, that's what. Yeah, I think the gloves specifically, right? It's like 102 and 4 or 102 and 5 or something.
Something stupid like that, yeah.
Yeah, so that definitely compensates for the cape not being as lucky right now. But you know, you're gonna keep Arcane forever, so that's gonna cake on. Like that's not the important thing, right? It's more knowing that whatever event is coming up, if there's such a thing as flame events ever, then then we can talk about how that fits into the whole picture. But until then, it's just whenever you have money aside and the other stuff is taken care of. Okay, so this is you unbuffed pretty much. 30.
Yep. So I was a little worried about my IED because I don't have a line anywhere.
Yeah.
But then I've remembered I don't have, I don't have superior set yet. So when the Neo Force goes away, yeah, I should get the superior set the same week that the Neo Force goes away, like next week. So I won't actually lose any damage when we lose that buff.
Right. Well, the reason why you don't really need the set, right? I mean, it's twofold. You have ID in your kit somewhere, so that means it's not as important. But the other thing is that because you have a big legion that you do, you use that as a placeholder for any kind of line that other people might need to get in your situation. So that helps you bridge that that need.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, like boost node wise, you probably were already fine more than a month ago, so we're not going to go over all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you use the extra 2 when you're mobbing? Or is this because you have 6 of them?
Those are bossing.
Oh, those are
Those two
bossing.
are bossing.
Right, because I saw the purple shit and I was like, okay, that's specifically more bossing. Oh, so you went full execution list on these 4? And do you keep all 4 the same, or do you switch 2 of these out instead?
It depends on the boss and how many node slots I have open. I'll use all 6 of them in Will because you don't have
everything
Holy
you can
Symbol and you don't have the True Reckoning Reflection.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah, might as well use that slot. Yeah, because otherwise, like what Scatter Shot or something is pretty meh on bosses, right?
Scatter Shot's actually our strongest possessed skill.
Because the possessing, right? Because all of it hits and it like heat
Exactly.
seeking. Yeah. Does it never like lose target when the boss like disappears? It just stays in the air and then re-triggers when it reappears.
I don't know. I've
okay.
never really noticed because there's no when you're to that point in your like damage rotation, you're focusing on so much other stuff
Yeah.
and like not getting killed when the boss is unbound.
Right, because I'm just looking back at like when I was playing Demon Avenger and you had the Nether Shields, and they changed a lot, right? In the beginning, it was like, oh, you can summon a bunch of them, but if the boss even disappears, if there's no target in the map for like a split second, they're instantly gone. And then there was a situation where they kind of floated around for like 6 or 7 or 8 seconds, and even if Vellum went like underground and went like through half the map and then came back, they would still heat seek. And then there was also a situation, and then now we're kind of like in the intermediate where they're like 2 or 3 seconds, I think they stick around, and then if there's nothing, they disappear. That is a part of like how important it might be to boost that node if the damage isn't, like you're saying, like, you know, it's situational per boss. If some bosses have the propensity to just disappear and stay gone for a while, you know, like Damien. Like Will, like Lotus sometimes just is like on vacation. That can mean if you're trying to min-max that, but I'm assuming, you know, you're kind of at the point now where you can put in pretty much everything you want in the slots. You're already, you know, going into the special nodes to make the bossing a little bit easier. I'm guessing like decent combat orders and stuff like that is probably going to be pretty decent for you, right? Because of the buffs in 4th? Or is it not
Sadly,
so much?
no. To get value out of decent combat orders, we have to have passes +1 and our inner ability, and it's not worth the...
Oh, right, because you need like 2 levels to get 1 final damage or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it will make its way into the, you know, into the V matrix eventually. It's just very
hand in hand
priority.
with hand in hand with the inner ability. I see.
Yep.
I guess when you're soloing, you use the bind somewhere.
Yeah.
To be able to. Yeah.
When I'm soloing bosses, I normally take out the special node because for the bosses I can solo, I really don't need.
Exactly. Okay, that all makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have the blink slowly leveling up. Once you're like 270, 275, that'll come in for some extra damage when you're mobbing. That'll always be nice.
Yeah, I haven't decided when I want to max out my decent skills. Because I'm working on 6 other characters in my account too.
Right, for the bossing mules?
Right. So...
I would say if you find yourself doing bosses and there's just multiple times when you're like, okay, now I want to go hard burst, and you look at the top right and you see your decents blinking, that's just frustration you can do without. Because there's already so much, you know, to prep and to look into when you're bossing and to make sure you're optimally distributing all the damage. So if you find that that becomes like the one thing that's just too annoying and that stops you, then leveling the decent skills is like a decent idea. So that you can prep those, right, so they don't go off during the burst. Other than that, if you don't feel that happening too much, feel free to just use your nodes on other characters. Won't be that big of a deal. Because if you want to get like nodes, you can kind of get
right?
All of it combined, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, like on my arc, I haven't gone with it. I think they're slowly getting to like level 15 to 20 now. But that's just from opening nodes because I'm making like the training node or I'm making the special nodes. And then it just slowly levels up. Like I've never crafted a single decent speed or decent sharp eyes or any of the other ones. Oh, this one is going to expire, I think, in like an hour. Oh, I should uncraft that one. Let's see, boost the skill nodes. Nah, they're equipped. But like I have 16 rope lift, 14 Urda shower, and I was extracting these for a long time as well, not really leveling them. 7 will of Urda, and the other ones are 21, 20, 13, 16. Yeah, and Holy Symbol is maxed, of course, because those I did craft, but that's normal. You did that as well, yeah. So I mean, comparatively, yeah, I guess I just opened way more nodes over the years on my character than you did. So eventually they just kind of level. Yeah, imagine this is what is it? 2.5 months old character.
73 days today.
Has not opened as many nodes as this 3-year-plus old character. Strange.
Yeah.
That's once you feel that the other characters. How much are you planning to commit to the other characters? Like, what level are you planning to get them to?
So super end goal is, you know, they'll all be 250 with max arcane force. Can fill in for Lucid and Will as needed for the community, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But right now, I'm just trying to get them all across the Lotus and Damien finish line.
Right. So solo Lotus and Damien.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
In a reasonable amount of time. Like.
Yeah. That's a good caveat to mention. Yeah. And then after that, it would be just like grinding them out, leveling, symbols, and then to see what they would still need at that point to be able to fill out that role if needed.
Yeah. So, especially since I've been training so hard on the Kain, I've been generating a fair amount of nodes. So all of them already have max boost nodes.
Okay.
And so all that's really left on the rest of my characters is skill nodes, which are huge for damage, but like you don't have to have max skill nodes to clear Lois and Damien in 10 minutes, right?
No. Well, it kind of depends on which class, but you're probably picking the classes who have an easier time doing it, so they don't need that now.
Yeah. So the 3 I have left are Gloomy, Arc, and Hero, which are all pretty.
I think they won't have any. Yeah, I don't think they're going to have any issues. Lumi, even though I'm not really like a mage player, was surprisingly easy to like start off with. Yeah, I'm not saying I can like master Lumi, but it was easier to get going with than a lot of the other mages, and it hits pretty hard right after the get-go. So,
yep.
I don't think you'll have any trouble.
Hardest skill for Lumi to like use in a boss scenario is Freud's Wisdom. That skill is, hate it. But,
yeah, the timing and the cooldown, and you have like 5 extra seconds, and if you don't tap it, it like disappears, and yeah, it didn't quite work on that. For me, it was just like always like tapping the baptism whenever I could, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's all a rhythm. Once you like have done the boss enough, you just kind of know, okay, it's been about 6 seconds, I can probably hit the button.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't look at the top right for the buff because there's so many of them there. By the time you find it, you like die to something else because you get your eyes off your character.
It's easier to put it on a key, like in your hotkeys at the bottom of your screen.
You just
and
smash.
You can actually see the timer.
Right. You can see it like light up a little bit when it's when it's off cooldown. Yeah. Okay. But like Links and Legion wise, you're already very far in.
Yep. I have 8,400 Legion, so.
That Legion raid power is coming in hot too.
Yep.
Well, you're not starving for coins, so there's no real problem there.
I'm actually using the AFK event to get all of my Legion Mules to 201. So.
All the free levels, yeah. Well, those potions are great for that. You can get 1.5 character done a day, so that's pretty damn good. It's another bunch of free levels, a bunch of free raid power. Is there any level 3 links that are left? I think you did all of those, right?
Kaiser.
Oh, Kaiser.
The Kaiser doesn't matter.
No, just wow.
Sorry,
that's
Kaiser.
pretty
Kaiser's skill does
abrasive
not matter.
statement right there. Kaiser doesn't matter. You heard it here first, chat. We have a Kaiserist among us.
Yeah.
The irony that Kaiser is also never mind.
Nova? Yeah.
No, like the I mean like the way you pronounce it and like being like exclusionary to a certain type of no.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, you know. He had a job opportunity. Okay, so but yeah, so we don't really need to go over any of that. Like, how are the bossing mules doing? Do they have any questions with anything there? You're doing 6?
7.
7.
7 plus Kain. So.
Yeah. So those 4 that we see here.
Yep.
I'm guessing, and then those 3 that you mentioned.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah,
so those 4 can all clear Lotus and Damien in 10 minutes apiece or less. So.
I was gonna say I didn't know you had a Cadena that high level, but it's fucking Attell cosplaying as a Cadena.
Got him.
You got me, dude. Yeah, and then the Pathfinder is cosplaying as a Kain.
Yep.
And Akana's cosplaying as a cow, so you know it's perfect. You're cosplaying as a boss in the game.
Yep.
Everyone's a little bit different than what they set out to be. Yeah, I mean, and you're kind of in the luxury position that you don't really have to make any tough choices on your Legion board, right? Because like you have filled out what you want to fill out. The rest can go into critical rate, which still gives you critical damage, so that's still going to give some return. So there's no real hard decisions to make there.
Yep.
So that's a good position to be in, and it's the exact same setup for your Pathfinder as well. So you don't even need to switch when you do that. And I'm assuming for all the other, maybe for some of the classes when the Neo Force goes down, your crit rate might dip a little bit lower than you want it. Specifically for the hero, I guess that's the only one in that list. Maybe the Kana, where the crit rate might dip a little bit lower than you want it, but then you just have, you have your Phantom Link and all that, so that should be no problem to get that fixed. Monster Parker is getting there. You excited about that? Yeah.
Yep.
So just one more week?
2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow, and it'll be done.
All right. And that's that extra chunk of IED, right? That was also still missing. So that's good shit. Yeah, then you can just go full boss damage familiars. Yeah. I mean, I guess and some healing in some situations to help the team out. Yep. Drop rate wise, you have the...
I do have like a 20% IED for, Black Mage or Saren, God forbid. So.
Yeah, calculation-wise, that might be in the long term over the DPM maybe better. Yeah, that would be something definitely like to put a pin in and then come back with like a giant calculation sheet once you're really taking on that whole challenge. Yeah. It's a good idea to keep your options open. You have the large drop rate and stuff like that? Maybe some auto steal?
I do not have a large drop rate.
Yeah, so that one is still on the wish list.
Yeah, I have a large drop in Mezzo, but I do not have a large drop.
Large drop in Mezzo goes a long way too, and I find myself using the large drop in Mezzo actually now over the large drop rate when training in Burning Cernium, so that I don't have to switch into drop rate gear to get a 100% chance to get a bag. So I got like the 3 items with Mezzo, and then the shared familiar, actually that rounds out perfectly with Holy Symbol, with all the other drop rate boosters that you do have, so you can go full damage gear on all the other pieces. So there is definitely, if you speed up really quickly and you actually do get to that point, then you can kind of skip needing the large drop rate. The main purpose of the large drop rate is all the familiars and all the droplets, of course, when you're in, anything Moonbridge.
Flames and cubes are pretty nice too.
They're pretty nice. Yeah, for sure. But like you said, like you're already at the point, I think, when your bossing mules are already probably past the point where they can really use Master Crossman cubes. Maybe they can still use flames a bit here and there for sure. Like and you mentioned that your flames might be one of the weakest sides, so the flames does get used. I'm still in my brain like a little bit. How hard do you want to go on the drop rate? If their definition of like making MapleStory better is taking away the drop rate for cubes and flames. Yeah, that's a delicate balance. So I'm always like a little bit skeptical now on like going hard and telling people like, oh yeah, go for like all the drop rate, man. Get that 200% drop rate set. It's probably going to have use, but you need to have a lot of money to warrant that decision now versus like a year ago, I think.
Sure.
But you probably are near that, right? Because the amount of money you put aside, probably have a decent set, I'm guessing.
Yeah, can't complain.
Alright, you can show off a little bit.
Has the large drop. Yeah, I'm trying to be humble here.
We'll just look at your backup stuff you have. How far did you push the Abzo before you switched over?
17, 2 line.
Right, and that was no problem with any content, right?
Yeah, I struggled a bit in Moonbridge, but
like in the beginning.
Between that and all of the boys are ridiculously strong too. So, never really struggled a boss fight.
Exactly.
So
I guess at the beginning, Moonbridge are 245. The monsters are like what, 253, 254?
I think in Last Horizon, in the upper left hand, they're like 250, 251.
Okay.
But
it's normal that's going to be a little bit, and all of the arcane power requirement in the beginning, even though you had the 1000, right?
Yeah, it was a struggle for sure.
Yeah, but I think that's normal. Even if you had like 20 or 21 Abzo, it might have been just enough, but so much extra investment, I don't think that's worth it at that stage. Yeah. Okay, but it's good to have that confirmation that is workable, as long as you have like 300 bill.
I only started with 150.
Okay. But you had like 80 left or something, you said, right?
Yeah, I'm sitting at 73 right now.
So, and how much Kana farming is that in the meantime, or is that just the character just making the money back?
I think I've put 3 hours on the Kana since Kain has come out.
Okay.
Not including bosses and dailies.
So just from doing the weekly bosses, like Ursus Maple Tour, like all of that stuff, and just earning money back while training with this guy, the whole expenditure is basically like 75 bill.
Net, yes.
Net, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm also like fairly established in the whole like quote passive end quote income each week. You know, I make a little over 5 bill in just bossing a week right now, plus the 2 bill from MapleStory and Ursus. Like,
Yep, any training
Yeah.
on top of that, yeah, puts you immediately at like 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
Because what do you make? Wait, you're in Limina now, right?
Yep.
So you're like what on a totem? You're like making 1.6 ish, something like that.
1.4.
1.4.
and
Okay.
1.4.
Yeah.
Yep.
And oh yeah, I'm 1.4. Yeah, it's a different map than I trained in. Yeah, but that's pretty much full coverage, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think I would make slightly better rates in 2.5, just because the
Mhm.
mobs are a little bit higher. But getting
Yeah.
a map in 2.5 is horrendous.
Yeah, I always had when I went to 2.5, the experience was a little bit better, but I would get no droplets, just nothing. And then I went to 1.5, and I just always get like 3 or 4 an hour. And I go to 1.5 and I do a whole totem and get 0 or 1 every single time. I was like, okay, this is just just like bad data gathering. But like it was really weird that it worked like that. Because I'm sure that rates should be somewhat similar, but I just got really lucky on the one and then like decently lucky on the other one. It was just strange. So that map was okay, but once I had like my familiars and stuff, I was like, I can do without that. Okay.
Yep.
So back up. So you're still right. So superior wise, you said you didn't have superior yet, right? That's like the big,
Correct.
big money move for you right now. Because I mean, you're already you're 4-set arcane now.
Correct.
Yeah, 4-set arcane.
I'm missing the shoulder.
The shoulder, yeah. And how close are we to that? Is it a droplet thing or is it a boss drop thing?
It's a boss drop thing.
Boss drop thing. Yeah.
I'm at. Nope, that's lucid. I'm at 5 drops right now, so I need 7 more, which is 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah. Yeah, it should be definitely. Well, yeah, because I don't think the drop rate increase lets you go over that 3 per boss, right?
I don't think it does either.
No. I mean, it'd be cool if it did, so it could be 2 weeks, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, whether it's 2 or 3 weeks is not that big of a deal. So the weapon has a. Did you get like a attack percent, or what did you get?
I did, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yep. Magnus attack percent.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I have a Magnificent Damien I wish I used first. So I think the soul looks better. But
looks really good, yeah. Yeah, I rocked that one for a while, but when you go to the higher level areas, you cannot do anything with that soul. Like it will 16 shot or something. It's just.
I mean, you can't do anything with
It's dead weight.
the Magnus soul either. So.
No, that's true. That's true. But then the passive comes in, right? So if you know you already have the 3% now in your current soul, I mean, you can 100% choose if you want the looks over the you want the aesthetic over the.
Yeah, no, it's a function over.
Yeah.
Over form. Sad.
Yeah.
So I should have used the Damien one first, because now I'll never know.
True. Yeah. You'll perpetually live in.
Yep. So keep in mind I'm watching your stream, so the times are a little behind. Right now you're looking at the weapon. So you don't have to do the math in your head. That's a tier 5 attack, tier 6 damage.
Tier 5, yeah. Yeah, well, because at this point I know like tier 6 is like just a little bit below 50%. So like a tier 6 is probably like 130 or something. Or like 129 or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So eventually I'll work on that.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Yeah, that's definitely good enough for now, for sure. Because I'm guessing definitely now. Well, it'd be one of the things that probably wants to be fixed before you would think about Cernium and burning Cernium. But I'm guessing like until 265 or something, you wouldn't be considering going there.
I don't know. When I do the 2 totems today and compare the percentages, that'll really determine where I end up training.
Are you going to do a totem in Cernium?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the foot soldier. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the 260 mobs.
All right. Yeah, yeah. It sucks a little bit, but like the potential on your secondary might also be holding you back a bit, right?
Only in training. That's
in training. That's what I mean. Yeah, for the. It's really juicy for bossing for sure, and definitely with the reboot passive change coming in, it's just really nice. But yeah, for like training and going to an area where you do need to squeeze out all the damage you can, losing 2 lines of damage being like basically 0, up to the point where if you feel that you're actually really close, because you're gonna have a lot of sources of damage, right?
Right.
Like you use the DRGs, you can even use the Legion damage buffs. You can switch literally all the equips to like formidably go hard on damage. Guild skill alternating, like you can get very, very strong. If you feel like you're almost there, I would, and you think at that point I would almost consider like making another secondary, even just going for like 21% attack, an extra 12% attack, and could go quite a long way and could do quite a lot for you.
Yeah. I have a second one already, and I've been throwing, so as I do the cubing sessions for the rest of the equipments, I take whatever's left in
Leftovers? Yeah, okay, makes sense, makes sense.
And have absolutely nothing.
And then just end up with nothing, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but that is, yeah, okay, that's a good thing to do. I love that 10% strength on the gloves. Couldn't just be dicks or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
I mean, it's so good, but it's also like so close to being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Sure, Aqua, I'll trade.
Yeah, you gotta trade.
Oh wait, we play in Reboot.
Trade gloves. Oh, does he have a dex line on his?
I think so, yeah.
Oof, that'd be solid if you could do that. I guess not everyone can. Wishful thinking. Yeah, so 5, 10, 15 plans. I mean, yeah, the emblem is good for what it is now. That is. Do you have kind of like clear where the projects on working on your equips kind of all land, or is that something you want to like clarify? Because like I noticed the pendant as well. Like, are you considering going like really hard on the pendant, or are you like itching to maybe make one that's a little bit better?
So I just transposed it and got it, so that's why it's 15 star. It even 2-line, it's better than the Chaos Horntail pendant I was using. So but with the 5, 10, 15 coming up, the biggest gains I can make are through star forcing and not cubing. So I have stopped spending money. Stopped spending meso.
Well, I meant more specifically like because of the flame score on the pendant. Because you did recently transpose it. Like it's like right on the edge of like being good enough, I would say, right?
Yeah, it was a 110, assuming we're talking about in-game, since I'm aiming at in-game. It was a 110 when I transposed it, which is right there at the border.
Wait, really? It was 48? Wait, how?
It was a 50 and 6.
Well, 48 and 6, right? Yeah.
I'm almost positive it was 50.
Well, you can see the strength gain plus 49.
Sure.
And the dex 41, so that's 8 different there. That 8 went into the green, so that was a 48.
Oh, okay.
So even if you count all stat as 9, that puts you to 103. But yeah, we're like kind of splitting hairs because this is not like the end of the fucking world.
Exactly.
But like if you hadn't transposed it yet, probably would aim a little bit higher on the flame first before transposing. But again, like this is like really close, and someone might do it with like 3 stat more and like 3 stat even with all the percentages ends up being like 18 stat or something, like not that big of a deal. But yeah, don't want to make you feel weird about that right now.
No, it's fine. Worst case scenario, right? It turns into meso or drop eventually, right?
Yep.
So
get that source of suffering.
I'm not opposed to making another Sweetwater. Now that I have the level 3 Dreadnought, I'm cranking out Dineros left.
Oh yeah, yep. That's a Dinero machine right there.
Yeah, my biggest issue have been boss drops. I've gotten 3 Dominators and 2 Kana Rings in 2.5 months.
Oof, not fantastic.
Yeah, big oof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna happen. You know, you're gonna get stopped on some parts of the content just because of how, because of your RNG. But like you said, on the other hand, you're gonna get really lucky on stuff like the CRA, pieces, and you're gonna get with way less money. You're gonna get out the ass gains for that. So, it's gonna. What hurts you on one side is gonna help you on another.
I had a
or
20-star
defense.
superior belt that we're looking at now,
Mm-hmm.
and tried to tap it to 21.
Didn't
and
survive.
The first tap, boom.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's okay. I knew I had a backup, so
Yeah.
still better than the God, not what is it? Pink bean? Yeah, pink bean belt. Blah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's why I was looking at your inventory, like, because typically people who have like 21 CRA, like at this stage of the games, like don't have that many pink bean belts. But yeah, if you had a 20, and it didn't make it a 21, then that makes sense. Is that something you're gonna do again, or are you gonna do next?
Yep.
Like, I'm just gonna get everything to 20 first before I try to tap things 20 to 21.
It depends on backups, right?
Right, yeah.
So I currently only have one more belt,
Yeah.
and so the plan for the 5, 10, 15 is first arcanes go to 17. That
Yeah.
should be pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 3 of them that are sitting at 15.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. So I'm also trying to get my tattoo to 21, and we'll see how many dineros I have after that.
Yeah, tattoo and monocle, notoriously flammable.
Right. Then pink bean belt goes back to 21, transfer into a 20, which turns into a 20 superior
Yeah.
belt. Reinforced earrings go 21 into 20 superior earring. Because I don't have the backups to try to tap them to 21.
Yeah.
I don't like the weird half measure of like, it's not 21, so I'm not going to be sitting on it for super long, but at the same time I want the damage, so I'll be cubing them, hoping for 3-line. So but if I get 3-line on a belt and then I tap it to 21 and it blows up, what do I do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the meme. For the belt, you can be in the luxurious position of just waiting forever and just eventually buying backups or just getting drops as backups, right? Because the way you can see it is, unless everything else is already 21, whichever one you decide to tap to 21 first, like you said, it's just a matter of backup. So if you just don't have the backups there, you focus on all the other stuff first. You might even focus on getting a CRA to 22 before that. And this could be months in the future, and then you could have like 1, 2, 3 belts at that point, and then, but then if it does boom, there's always that having to redo it. In the end, 3-line on accessories, it's manageable, but it's definitely a risk you have to weigh.
It's like on average 6 bill, if my memory's right.
Yeah, I think belt is a little bit higher than the rings and the earrings, right?
Yeah. No, the belt should be smaller. It should be cheaper because you don't have the meso and drop and the healing stuff.
Don't you have some chance to block percentage damage or some stuff?
I don't know. Wow! Exclamation point cubing in the chat. This will tell us.
It's great.
Yeah. There it is.
Those two might actually cancel each other out because I think you just select accessory. Oh yeah, belt is separate. Yeah. Okay. Which one are you checking? I'll check the other one.
I'll check the belt.
Okay. Accessory, red cubes. It's already legendary. It's 150, and we're trying to get.
Is it 150? Oh, hey, it is 150. I thought it was 160.
No, because the pink bean is 140. Yeah. All the superior stuff is 150 because the 140 rings transfer into it. That's how I remember it. Kind of treasure and this.
So for 30% is
30% stat calculate.
Average is 10, median is 6.6.
Yeah, this one is median 6, average 8.7. So accessories are so belt is a little bit more expensive. Yeah. But it's actually it's not that much out of the realm. It's like 15% different or something, 10% different. So it's not that crazy. It's kind of like I think with shoe and cape as well. They've got some of those weird lines on there that should probably just be removed because it's just there to fuck up your day and spend your money.
Oh, and I'm also hoping to get a 2 21 Meister rings to transfer one into the superior ring.
Right, because you got 5 now and 9 primals. I think I saw somewhere.
10 primals.
10 now. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish everyone had the same luck I did. I think in total I did blow up, I think 5 Meisters, but for 222s, I think that's worth like 7 in total. I think that's like cash money. As long as you blow them up, you know, low, and you don't have to go, because I think I blew up 1 going from 20 to 21. That just always stings so much because you're just so close, and then you have to start all the way over. But I mean, yeah, it's gonna happen. I mean, you had it happen with your belt. Like it's gonna happen. That risk is definitely there. Even it's like only 7%, but 7% is a decent chance. Yeah, I hope that.
And that's 7% if you believe Nexon.
Yeah, that takes a little bit of faith too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Proxa doesn't believe him right now with his CRA hat.
Oh, what happened? How many is he at?
He's coming up to 40, I think.
Jesus. At that point, you're just impressive. You just want to see how high you can go.
Yeah.
You got 6 earrings. Is that 7 earrings or is this a superior?
The one off by itself is the superior, so that's 6. That's 7. And then so the one next to the Kana treasure ring is the superior.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have like the bluish hue, but some have like a greenish bluish hue.
It's the flame color that doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah, this one is like yellowish, right? And then plus the blue makes it like green. You know, that's why it's sometimes a little bit weird to know which one you're looking at. I wish they just had a different color gem in the middle. That would make it so much clearer. Just make that one blue or green or purple. You know. Well, then blue purple colorblind people still have some issue, but at least most people would see it normally. Yeah, I'm thinking, so like drop meso set wise, it's like, it doesn't really matter how strong that is, because either you're more than strong enough and you can just kill freely in Limina, right? Or it's nowhere near good enough to be able to kill in the new areas in Surimir and Burnium, at least for now. And then that's just off the table, so I don't think it's like worth really going over that. And I mean, you're pretty stuck to those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have any of those legacy prepped items that are already 21 or 20 that are transposed that you can just recube. Because that's one of the benefits of having spent your money in an optimal way years ago. It's not as much anymore. Fairy's Heart is where you want it to be. Yeah, like you said, the flames is probably a thing, but yeah, I would definitely just focus way harder on the stuff. All right, so what was the order? We're gonna do the arcane stuff, the 17, and then probably the pendant, right? And then you wanted to do the earring and the belt up to 21.
Yep.
And then the rings. Yeah, the Meister rings. Yeah.
And then whatever money I have left over, I'm 21 or tracing the 1 Kana ring backup I have right now, and the 2 Doms.
Would you consider getting because how many lucid backups do you have?
5 right now. 5 drops.
Oh, 5 drops. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 5 boss drops. So I won't have a backup to roulette the...
Right, yeah. On the off chance that you get a drop before then, but otherwise nothing, yeah.
Yeah.
Because even, because you probably looked at the rates, right? Like, even going up to 19 or something on Arcane, very low chance to boom, actually.
Right.
Very high
Still not
success
worth the
chance.
risk.
No, but if you do, but once you have backups, that is something to put a little bit higher in your priority than you might instinctively consider.
Yeah, no, they're level 200, so their flame scores are ridiculous. Or like the Star Force that they get is ridiculous.
Yeah, the bonus stats for Star Force is crazy, and pretty low risk, and it's also really good detergent because you do it one time and it blows up, and you'll be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do it anymore. But as long as it goes well, it's pretty good gains.
Yep. That being said, I probably won't be Star Forcing my weapon past 17.
That's a really expensive one to replace, but as you start doing, I mean, you're probably going to be in Varicella territory very soon, right?
I mean, I went with the boys last week because it was Mex's birthday. Phil's birthday, man.
Phil's birthday, man, for Mex. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I filled in for him. Didn't die out. So.
Didn't die out. That's a good start.
Yeah. Yep. It was. I was closer to dying out with Damien than I was with the boys. So
Yeah, it was a little bit of a hectic run, I think, with Damien, if I remember correctly.
yeah, there was a bad call made, so
Mm-hmm.
we were told to get the stacks like 5 seconds before the
Yeah,
swipe.
yeah, and then we ended up all taking like 2 or 3
Yeah,
when we didn't need to.
everyone was down to 2.
Yeah, yeah, that made it way more scary there at the end.
Yeah. But we got it. We got the clear. That's
Yeah,
all
we
that
got the
matters.
yeah. That's what you want. That's what you want.
Yep.
Have you heard of like
That's
Gloom Darknell, or have you tried those at all?
I run normal Gloom and Darknell with Noah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's like
That being said, Noah can like solo them.
you can probably
so
solo. Yeah,
I'm
it just speeds it up.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Comedic relief, Smidley. I mean, it's always nicer to do it with 2. It just speeds it up by so much.
Mhm.
Just caking someone else's damage onto yours takes a lot of the stress of the possible. You thought Noah does chaos and hard? Nah, there's
He
just
was.
there were too many changes in our party, and every single run became like a struggle run again. There was a time when we were actually doing it kind of like reliably for like 2 to 3 weeks in a row, but every week there was like 1 or 2 people who couldn't, and we kept like getting switches and kept getting fills, and then the fills would always be a little bit weaker than the people we had initially, and the runs just became more and more volatile, and we started just failing too much. And then
Okay.
because you fail a lot,
To-
you get like tilted before you even go in, and then then you just failed even more. So
Yeah. To be fair to the fills, it's really hard to take the place of the 20 trill
yeah,
BA Night Lord. So
a little bit, yeah, just a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah. Oh, Noah says it doesn't really speed it up. No offense, Millie.
I saw.
Yeah, I just wanted
It's
to point
okay.
it out for the for the people.
Yeah.
What a toxic piece of
Yeah.
shit this Noah Lamas, my guy, is.
Nah.
Exposed
he's
live
not
for 4K. No, just kidding.
No.
No, he's a sweetheart. He just wants to take a dig at you. Get you on the spot.
yeah.
So
After the Star Force event,
Uh-huh.
I'll start just like picking an item and trying to 3-line it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate defense lines with a passion. Look at my hat.
I think your hat and your belt are like copies, right?
I think so.
I
The
think they're
hat's the one that,
defense. Yeah, dex, defense,
drives
dex.
me nuts.
Yeah.
Ugh. I was so happy and then so disappointed. 'Cause, oh,
Yeah, there's that instant where you're like, oh.
oh.
Even like the Silver Blossom ring, you're like, oh, too late. No, never mind.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and the Reboot Awakening is the same.
I hate defense
Dude, Dex and defense,
so
they
much.
just they love each other so much. Or like also like the kind of treasure. It's like it's at least it's better than 21, but now it's also the bar is now so high to start re-rolling.
Yep.
Well, at least the Meister knows what's up.
Yep, the Meister was my first 20 or my first 3-line. So
Thank God for that.
yeah, I think my tattoo, my shoes, and my heart are all in the like 3-line if you include all stat range.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, they're like 3% off max, right?
yeah.
Yeah, which is definitely that's a good goal to set for everything. Like, if you do end up getting a 3-line with that, then that's great. But definitely prioritize the items that you know if you're going to replace them, it's going to be on the same item. So I would you prioritize the so that would be like the Sweetwater pieces first, right? Because they're accessories, and then probably Arcane second, and then CRA last because of the amount of junk lines they have.
Yep.
In that order, I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, and that also follows the order of 160 to 150, right? With the extra 1%. So that matches up quite neatly. If you're ever going to 3-line, like hard first, right? Because that's the lowest amount of junk lines. That's the cheapest one.
Mm-hmm. I think I've spent $5 bill on that heart so far,
Mhm.
so I'm already way overdue for my.
Yeah, you see those people smegging all the double prime ones and even the triple prime ones, and you're like, oh, it's possible. But it's still like super rare.
I try to stay away from the items people smega because it just
Yeah.
sets your expectations way too high.
Yeah, I noticed that when we had the flame compensation, right? People were like, oh my god, it's so easy to get like 160 flame score in Arcane. It's like, no, it's not easy, but you just see everyone who gets one smegas it, and it makes you feel like it's so easy to get, but it's still like an average of like 7,000 flames or something. Like, it's not a realistic thing to aim for. 3-line
Yeah,
the
there
weapon.
was-
Yeah. If so, I would say like the 2.5 lining, what I call it, right? Like if you can get 2 lines, and if you get that on most things, after that, I think it's probably kind of like a toss up between trying to 3-line your accessories if you feel up for it, or at that point going back to your WSE and really settling those.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Before we get too far away in the flames, so I've got mules in a bunch of different guilds because guild skills. I think it's Paper Crown. One of their big boy kanas has a arcane weapon with tier 7 attack, tier 6 damage, tier 6 boss damage. It's absolutely ridiculous.
What is that, like a 1 in 30,000 flame or something?
I don't know, man.
That's gotta
I
be.
could probably find the screenshot, but yeah. Oof. Mad about it. Why couldn't I just get lucky like that?
Yeah, that's probably. Well, how many flames did he use?
2,000 Eternal Flames? or
Jesus.
something?
Yeah, that's quite a bit. But yeah, that's why it's really good to have so many, because you can increase your chance of just getting lucky one time by so much just by throwing a bunch of flames at it. And that's why those crazy flames ended up happening, right? So this is a tier 7 plus 15? No, plus 17. Wow. That is... No. Tier 6? So 12 and 6, so 18.
Yep.
Damn. Oh, never mind my 30,000. 300,000. Yeah. So it's still like a 0.7% chance or something that he got what he got. Yeah.
Yep.
But if you have 2,000 instances of that, you know, that's... I don't know, like, the way that stats work and everything. Hail Marys... And one Hail Mary is shit, but 2,000 Hail Marys gets you kind of a chance of getting there. Look at that. 85% chance within 600,000. 95% chance within 967,000 Eternal Flames.
Drop a cool million
A milli.
Eternal Flames.
I mean, they're only like 250 mil each in the event stores, right? So,
yeah, it's,
so that's like what, 250 trill?
Something like that.
A million times a million is a trillion, I think. 6.
That's
12 zeros.
Yep.
So yeah,
So, yeah,
250. Yeah, so 250 trill. Flame cost. Like the cost doesn't even fucking calculate. And I can throw a powerful here, but it's not even gonna. It's infinity because you can't hit a tier 7. Yeah.
Yep.
Even if you roll this down to a 6, even then you're talking like 840 bill average cost. If it was a tier 6 only with reds. Like, and it's 88,000 flames. Yeah, that is absolutely nuts. Yeah, I think my mom's weapon was like a tier 6 with a tier 5 and a tier 5, which is like what my weapon has as well. That's already so good. The average of adding a tier 5 of 1 and tier 5 of 2, that's already so much harder to do. Because if you hit like the 10 with boss, like it's like 3.5 bill. That's like that's not too crazy. And you put this to 15, it just shoots up so much.
Yep.
It goes to 51. It goes to 5.4k
Jeez.
powerful flames. Yeah. Every percent there is a lot. That's why people aim for like tier 6 attack, tier 5 boss, and that's like they're chilling. And you know, one day if you have like a bunch of Eternals, I think what they're doing though is they're making the black flames way more accessible, right? To give a lot of people the false hope that they might one day to be able to Hail Mary something without having to feel bad that they have to let go of what they already had.
I mean, we get what, 3 a week in the Legion shop or something.
Yeah, that and just in events. Oh yeah. They are expensive as fuck, yeah. But you have to be able to get a lot of them because it doesn't make sense to just buy a few for the 1 in 10,000 chance to get something crazy when you can get something that's, you know, not as insane but has a 100% chance of giving what you want. Yeah, they're really just the Hail Marys and they'll always be treated as such.
Turns out you can get 20 of them from the Legion shop every
20.
week.
Okay, but how much are they
Yeah.
each? Are they like 400?
250.
250.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So that's what, 5K a week?
How many did you say? 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5K a week. Yeah.
I mean, you make that in a week.
I make that. Yeah. Yeah. You. I mean, the sooner you start, the sooner you finish with that. But
Oh, I don't make that in a week. You make that in a week.
Yeah. No, that's true. But I mean, you as in like one will start that. You know, like if someone does. Yeah, because I was looking at your Legion raid power. It's still like, with all the things you have going on, that one is still like a little bit lower than mine. But like Project CRA has boosted mine quite a bit, right?
Yeah, it did. Pretty mad about it actually.
Yeah.
Because when I started my Legion work, you were sitting right at,
I was like around this,
84.
right? I think it was like 440 or something, 430,
Mm-hmm.
440, yeah, around there.
Yeah.
And now I'm at 550.
At the time,
yeah.
my goal was like have more Legion than this guy. Well, halfway through, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna level everything to 210.
Like, oh shit, yeah.
Now I have to.
And by the time you get there and be like, oh, I got everything to 220, you're like, son of a bitch.
Stop it.
Stop moving the goalposts.
Yeah, and before just casually getting 10K.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that 9K seems like eventually reasonable. I mean, not worth it, because, not for the value you get out of it worth it. The raid power will not go up by that much. You get one extra character in there, whoop-de-fucking-do. But having all the characters, basically any character you can log into at any time and just walk into, like, provided it's in a guild with guild skills and has some funding on it and has some boost nodes, you just walk in and do like Lotus and Damien real quick within like the guild skills. I mean, that's always like a nice, cool 300 mil to pick up in half an hour, right? You're basically going like meso rates for training. Plus, you're keeping it fresh. Maybe there was some job changes. You can see how the skills work, And for me, that's a lot of value because, a lot of people from a lot of different classes asking questions. So I can always keep the knowledge a little bit up to date at that point. But yeah, it's just, well, you've noticed that as well. Like the extrapolation of like doing one thing on one character is not a big deal, but doing one thing on 40 characters, like, or 50, like multiplying everything by that power is just so crazy.
Yeah, I'm so glad I don't have to do Reversity for a long time now.
Yeah. People are like, why don't you get this? And I'm like, okay, getting this one time, it's not a big deal, and I would do that. But it's like, it's only like 45 minutes. But now imagine getting it 50 times 45 minutes. And like, what else could I do in that much time? And they're like, okay, no, I kind of get it. That's like a crazy thing.
Yeah, okay, but there's a flaw in your logic there because it's not, doing it, the 45-minute task like unlocking Magnus, which would have saved you weeks of heartache. It's not like you're unlocking it first on every character, and the second, it's not like you're doing it back to back to back to back, right? It's 45 minutes a week, which is much more manageable.
What do you mean 45 minutes a week?
Like if you were to unlock,
yeah, you were talking about when I was doing like easy Magnus quite a bit on
Right.
getting all the shoulders and the badges, right?
Exactly. So for the ones that weren't dropping, it's been, 4 or 5 attempts in easy Magnus with drop rate, like,
yeah, it's
fuck
horrible.
this. Yeah, it's time to unlock actual Magnus. But
yeah, I mean, at speed up would just
whatever.
be like ask someone to run like an H mag with them one time and like unlock it, get it on the first run and like move on. But the way that I was doing it, I was also always working on like 3 or 4 characters at the same time, and just kind of like upgrading a character, just looking where you have the most backups, and then just moving that one out, and then higher prioritizing that one. So like as long as there was progress and it was okay, like one character getting stuck for 2 weeks is not a big deal as long as the other characters keep moving through. Because that's just,
you say that.
that happens. Yeah.
I remember there was a couple.
I think it was Shade was just impossibly horrible. I think it was 2 weeks of easy. Then I did normal like 6 times. And then I did hard. And then I think Shisush like yoinked it.
You did.
And then I had to do another one. It was like, bro, like this is just... Yeah, but there's always going to be one of those outliers, right? But then on the other side, like with cubing, I think there was one item that I took 800 occult cubes just to get 9% on it one time. And at that point, I was just impressed that it was even possible to take that long. But then there was I don't remember what character, maybe the mechanic or something, where it was done with the whole account in like 400 cubes. Everything had 9%, which is like on average is just mind-blowingly lucky. And then
one of the archers got like 18% dex.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it was the Corsair got 18% on the pendant, the Mechanator pendant. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's nuts because you're like looking for 9 and you just get double it, which is way more than double as hard, way more than twice as difficult. The odds are astronomically low for that. But that's also one item on all of those characters combined in probably like a total of like 50,000 occults or something like that. Yeah, I actually cut into my savings for occults quite a bit with that.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, now it's already building up faster than ever, so. You probably felt that too, right? Like working on those characters, like all of the resources you saved up come in quite handy, save quite a lot of money.
I've been working on them slowly over the past, 6-8 months. So I never really felt too much pain from any of the star forcing or cubing. I mean, my hero, I was a Terrorburn when Adele released, and it finally is clearing CPAP at Akechi.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good extra crystal income, though. It's a good chunk.
I gotta be playing this character wrong or something, because it is not supposed to be this difficult.
Really?
Okay, so, like, full, everything burst, I can take about 2/3 of Akechi's first health bar away.
Wait, which character?
14k stat on the hero.
On the hero.
And that's making sure I have, decent combat orders, decent sharp eyes, speed and fusion, both of the debuffs on him.
Yeah.
I even use the World Reaver and then whatever the new skill is called to recharge everything for that final damage buff.
Use the other way around, by the way. Like the blade first and then the World Reaver.
Oh, wait, I thought you used the blade to recharge the orb you lost.
Yeah, but it doesn't hit instantly. It hits like a bunch of times over time. So you throw the illusion blade first, and it starts hitting, and then you throw out the World Reaver, and then when you're done with the World Reaver, you start attacking, and then you get the final damage buff from the World Reaver, and you immediately get all your stacks back and get all the orbs back from that because the sword illusion is still hitting, and that allows you to get more the final damage there. That shouldn't be that big of a difference though, but it's just like a small optimizer. And that's also with instinctual combo, like hitting full hits.
Yep.
And it's always keeping the debuffs on. Like the debuffs are pretty important.
Yep.
And it's with 100% crit rate with enough IED.
It has too much IED actually.
Yeah, because the 50%. It's like, oh, here's 50% in fourth job, by the way. It's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, and I think I have 2 lines on my WSE.
Yeah, so you're like my old Adele, where I had like one line on everything and it was like 99, 98, 99 visual. Like, I think I can handle this. Yeah, this is fine. And you do 2/3 of Akechi at 15k stat?
Yeah. At this point, I'm just gonna, face roll my keyboard until it hits 225 or 230, just for a couple extra slots.
I mean, if it's not in stat and you're lacking damage, I guess it's like missing percentage attack. That's like the only thing that it can still be at that point, right?
Yeah, I don't know. This progression session's not about the Pepega hero. At this point, he's just a meme. He's just a meme
at this point. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He also doesn't have guild skills because our mule guild is little sad.
Yeah, that's a big carry, of course. Yeah.
Maybe it's just lack of guild skills. Maybe.
That does, at that level, that does make a huge difference. Because that's like, that's like adding 40% final damage or something to an extent.
Yeah. Were there any other topics you wanted to go over?
Or? I guess like all stuff maybe. I don't know where you're at with that. With the current event, that could be pretty beneficial, right? Because you are pretty burst heavy. And if you do want to start doing those harder bosses.
ROR 4 is huge for Kain, especially since our burst is so stationary. And the skills that do move us vertically, so we still stay in the column.
Yeah.
But The Oz is too much of a time commitment for a chance at gain.
Yep.
Where I've got so much room to grow, just by throwing totems down and getting meso and star forcing. That it's
Yeah, it is meso related. Yeah, if there was like a lot of money in Oz or something, then it would be 2 birds, 1 stone, and you'd do that.
right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, especially if you're in
yeah.
Limina, right? Because the rates there are damn good. You want to get droplets so you can
easy.
maybe push Arcane later.
Yep.
Yeah, you still want that large drop rate familiar, so you can have value from the cards as well.
Yeah. I still need large drop and at least 1 more large healing for the party. I've got 3 large healing, but
All
one
self.
of them is selfish.
Oh, one is self. Oh, yeah, okay.
One of them is selfish, yeah.
And you had what? Yeah, you said you had 80% in boss?
I do, yep. 2 30s and 120.
And 120, yeah. So maybe a 30 boss would also be would be nice.
Yeah.
Unless the 20 boss is healing as well, then.
No, I think it's just 20 boss. No, that's 30. That's 30. Where are you?
Wherefore art thou?
Nope. Yeah, it's 20%. No, that's IED. Where the hell is this thing?
Uh-oh. Is it if it's selected somewhere, it'll be highlighted, right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's attacks have 3% chance to restore 20 MP. That's the
Oof. Oh yeah, no, I would see why we would want to keep that. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
How much MP? Like 6 MP? Like 60?
20.
20? Oh shit. Okay,
So,
okay. Now we're talking. Yeah.
Might save a Dawn Warrior 1 blue pot eventually.
Blue pots. The order of magnitude of this game, and then somehow them still giving you like the reboot potions with like 1,000, that even like 15 minutes into starting a new character or already have 0 value anymore. It's kind of interesting how that. Yeah. Why those potions don't give like a percentage is kind of mind blowing to me, but. I
mean, 1,000 MP will take you pretty far, into the 130s, 140s on most characters.
Yeah, the HP, like if I start a new character now because of my Legion board, I'm like starting with 8,500 HP. Like it's already garbage immediately. But then you have like the red pots, the orange pots, the white pots. It's like this is just so useless.
Wasn't it like Akana you had was basic attacking for 20k damage at level 10?
There was
or something.
Yeah, there were some crits. I think I was doing 10k crits at some characters, like right getting the first job. Like yeah. I had basic attacks like on Maple Island on the Mihail was like 8.5k crit at level 1. Like stupid numbers like that, yeah. You're basically like an old school level 80 Dexless Sin hitting lucky 7s. But now you're Maple Island and Mihail.
Yeah, I remember way back in like 2004 going into the Hennessy's Hunting Ground, running out all of my MP, going back to town, sitting on a chair, just coming back to the game.
Just because the potions were so expensive, you had to be so saving. Yeah, my mom would do that. She would train, wait until her MP was finished, sit on a chair, and then like do the laundry, then go back, train, it was done, then do the ironing, and then clean, and then cook. Like she would like just wait until until the MP was finished. Yeah. That's how she got so much work done, because it was always like efficiency. She was like min-maxing with the events. And whenever a new chair came out from an event and it like healed more than your existing best in slot chair, it was like, oh shit, a new best in slot chair, 50 MP instead of 25. Holy shit, this is like double the regen. Yeah, that was crazy.
I think it was the first year's like Thanksgiving themed event had a chair that gave you 100 and then 100 HP and then 50 MP. Yeah. Oh my god, it was so good. And then everyone was walking around with the pilgrims hats and looking idiotic. That was great.
I feel like there was a red relaxer chair in like the TCG back then that was just so much better than the regular green relaxer chair, right? Because you had the whole kids these days, they don't know, but you had like they had a chair quest in Maple Island, and you would not get off Maple Island unless you got your green relaxer chair, because that was basically like. That was, if you're playing League, it's like your refillable pot, okay? that was what that was. And because in the grand scheme of things, it saved so much money. I guess what I'm getting at is I think it would make more sense if all of the potions in MapleStory were just percentage based, but that the early potions you get would just be low percentage so that it still would scale a little bit. Like red pots would be like 5%, and orange pots would be like 10%, you know. But then at least they would give like a decent amount.
Well, yeah, that's why ginger ales are so good. Is they're the most accessible.
Yep.
Percentage based. Yep.
Skills perfectly. Yeah. Okay. So
people using what's a familiar hack? Like this is a legit stream. I don't know what you're talking about, Brucer.
Familiar hack.
Yeah.
Are you talking about back when there was this chair on Maple Island? Because I don't think familiars didn't exist back then. There were a lot of hacks back then. I do know that. I don't know what all the names were, but
I've only ever witnessed the vac hack in like I think it was the zombie mushroom map. There was one corner where you could stand for some reason if you could teleport your character up there, and just
you could be on top of the map and you wouldn't be visible in the minimap, so people wouldn't even be able to like go up and report you. If you like jumped in one corner, you would see a red dot on top of the ceiling. But that's all you could do. Yeah. But I think once that got known, GMs would just start patrolling that map and all the channels, and people got banned pretty quickly. But for a while, for like a few weeks, it was, yeah, you would think like for a few hours, but yeah, Maple response time, so like for a few weeks it was hacker heaven up there, yeah. Just in general, moving through a map, and every other map, you would just get hit up the side, like off the side of your head, you would take damage, and you would see a monster like diagonally just doing the electric slide through the map, and you'd be like, okay, well, it's one of those maps. And then when it probably got really bad, there was the big maps had always at least 2 people in them, just in like opposite corners, and they were like fighting over the over the spawn. But usually when you went into the map, the FAQ would like completely go haywire and sometimes stop working completely, or only suck in like 1 or 2 monsters at a time. Their rates would go garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea about.
Cause them to one-shot the map. There was a bug with familiars that would cause them to one-shot the map, or it might have been after Big Bang. But you're saying familiars, but familiars didn't exist until like a year ago, a year and a half ago. When did familiars come out?
No, I mean there was the book, right? The monster book where you could.
Yeah. But they wouldn't really do anything.
Those...
Wait. Yeah. Wait, am I brain farting? Could you summon those?
Yeah, you could summon the. I always got the junior boogies, so I didn't have to buy MP pots.
But like one of them, but they didn't really do damage, right? I mean, oh yeah, they maybe found a way for them to do damage. It was like a hack to find them to do damage. Junior boogie meta.
Yeah, rip junior boogies.
After Big Bang is 2010 now. Yeah, you could be talking about 11 years ago.
True.
Yeah, people with junior boogie, and I think what was it, like a crocodile in Mulong or something for the MP. Yeah. I mean, oh yeah, of course, yeah, we used spiders before, yeah, of course. Like the 3-orb spider and shit. Man, that system changed.
So I do have one question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
So, you know, I think I have the Zelpex bug where, you know, the pat mark just doesn't exist in my game files or something.
A little bit early to self-diagnose, but yeah, okay, continue.
Nope. Typing it now. I gotta submit paperwork to get disability.
Yeah, you gotta establish a paper trail.
Yep. Assuming that I have great star forcing luck, which is a big assumption, would it be worth going for a untransposed monocle, knowing that if I ever did get a pat mark, I would have to remake it?
I would say so, yeah. Probably not 22, but I think up to 21, I think it would be worth it.
Yeah,
and if you do get one,
on 22 either,
yeah,
so.
Okay. Because there is always like the backup that you can make it into a meso equip when you go into a higher level area, so you can always fall back on it for the value. And there's also the off chance, of course, that you move into a
Berserk.
Yeah, into an eye patch, yeah. So that would then it would be a normal progression anyway. Like whether you use a monocle to get there or a transposed monocle to get there, like you still want to get the damage from somewhere. So I don't think it's I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just never assume or count on getting a pat mark. I think that's just a fool's errand.
Yeah, unless your name's Henry.
Yeah, has you gotten a few of those?
3.
3 already, damn.
Yep. All in the mech, I think.
Imagine getting 3 pat marks.
I don't want to see your DA or
My DA has 6 now. This is not fair.
I know. I know.
Wait, I thought this guy had 5. Oh, I only have 4. Oh, damn.
Only have 4.
Only 4, dude.
This guy's also been running since the boss came out, so...
Yeah. Yeah, Henry's probably been running for a bit.
I don't think so. I think I was running on my Pathfinder before he was.
Oh, yeah, you were doing Pathfinder
Pathfinder
as well,
only got
yeah.
one.
So that's like only 1. And have you told Zelpex that you got only 1 on your...
Oh, I put it in stream when I got it. He was there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we're talking almost a year ago now, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
he's
been a
gotten
while.
2 in the last month. Yeah, Henry's
Yeah.
gotten 2 in the last
Yeah.
month, didn't he?
Yeah, it's really hit or miss. I've found the same thing with Arc, right? Like either you get a bunch of primals and then you get nothing for a while, and then you get Dominators back to back, and then you don't see them for 2 months. They seem to cluster pretty heavily, but might all just be a coincidence. Who knows?
Certainly not Nexon.
No, they have no idea. No clue. I'm surprised they figured out the thing with the rates of the boxes and stuff, but I guess the players figured it out and told them. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of cheating there.
I mean, the players figured out the inner ability recipes. The players figured out the flames were rigged.
Yeah.
You know,
They were trying to
It's
figure
our
out if
job to
cubes
tell
were
them.
rigged. Yeah, yeah. We are the
Yeah.
true beta testers of. We're the actual QA.
Ugh.
You can put it on your resume, a QA for MapleStory, Nexon's MapleStory, for 15
yeah, that's
years.
why we don't have a Tespia
Yeah.
all the time, right? Just
Look,
GMS is the test server.
look at me. I am the Tespia now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know you got a bunch of other stuff planned today, so I don't want.
Yeah, we're gonna try some dank dungeon.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. That sounded like it's gonna be a shit show.
It's a really addicting, really hard game. Unless
Mm-hmm.
you're playing it on baby mode, I would definitely suggest playing it on the medium
The
setting.
medium, yeah, I think I'll do a
Yeah,
medium.
it's called
yeah.
Darkest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What's
so
it-
at the start, do you want any spoilers or like any tips?
I saw like one video that someone made on like tips for beginners. Most of the stuff was pretty self-explanatory, but it was vague enough. The guy, it was a pretty good video because the guy makes guides like the same way that I would, where he's like, okay, this is like something that you have to, take into account, but doesn't really say like this character needs like 3 of this and therefore you need to pick this item up and that's it. Like nothing in detail like that. So he does kind of like let you free to like make your own mistakes and stuff. But
Well, the game doesn't work like that. So
no, I mean because of like permadeath and shit.
mostly permanent, yeah. Okay, so the one thing I will tell you is I absolutely hate one of the 2 starting characters because of a quirk he has. It drives me absolutely bonkers. But yeah, I will let you figure out who that is and which quirk.
Yeah, I think they
is
said that
rage-inducing.
the quirks are the quirks. There's only a few of them that are like really really bad and really annoying, and every character is pretty much always going to have some quirks. And just playing around some minor level quirks is just kind of part of the game, rather than spending a lot of gold, rather than getting all of them unquirked and stuff can be a little bit of a waste.
Yeah.
But I guess there's some of them.
TRK knows.
Some of them probably have like bad interactions with other stuff, and that makes them. Is it like quote unquote literally unplayable in some situations? When you're like,
No, it's just frustrating.
yeah, like you need
and-
them to come through, and then they don't, and you're like, ugh.
No, so okay.
Yeah, okay, you
the
don't have
quirk
to.
doesn't even take effect in the battle, so it's not like it's gonna get you killed.
Oh, it's
but
like for
it's
ambushes
just-
and stuff, or.
Nope, I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay, yeah, don't tell me,
You'll
don't
just
tell
have
me.
to read.
The one thing though that I think is really weird, and like Ogre Tactics also had this, is where because you have like a guard mechanic or something, right, where someone can like jump in
Oh.
front of someone else, and like
Sure.
Ogre Tactics kind of had this where if you have like line of fire and someone is in front of it, then they'll also the game will act like you're attacking them instead of the person that you actually targeted. But sometimes you need to do that, like if you sometimes if you try to hit a certain person because of elevation. That's not a thing in Darkest Dungeon, but like in Ogre Tactics, like if there's elevation, sometimes you can't reach someone. But if you hit the target behind them, that's even higher. They'll shoot so high that they'll actually hit the person that you were trying to hit. But because of the guard mechanic, there's this weird thing where if if it says like, okay, this is hitting the person that you're hitting, but that person dodges, the attack still whiffs. But if someone jumps in front of someone to take the attack, but they dodge it, doesn't the attack still go through and hit the person that they were trying to attack? That's kind of like an oversight,
just miss
right?
Both, right?
Yeah, you could, but should there also be a check on the person that you're trying to attack?
No, because in games like this, you don't want the defend to have a % chance, right? Like, if you tell your character to defend this other character, you don't want there to be a chance where that move just didn't do anything.
Sure, but then,
right?
but then it should be a block mechanic, I think, because then if you block the attack, then it surely can go through. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to defend you, and then I'm going to dodge the attack, the person behind you is like, well, what the fuck? I still got hit. Like,
yeah.
Like, I've got this, and then it moves out of the way of the attack. It's like, you don't got this. You fucked me. But yeah, that's right. Maybe like the level of realism that's maybe going a little bit too far to make it unfun. Yeah. I don't
know. But yeah, so you've got, what, Darkest Dungeon, you've got KMST Oz stuff, I think.
Yep.
I think it's the latest. Yep.
Yeah. It's somewhere. I think I got it. Yeah. The Seed.
Terrible name.
You don't like the Seed?
I definitely don't want her seed. That's for sure.
Yeah, no?
Not my thing.
The cute purple dress?
Moving on.
Moving right along.
Yeah. So I guess I will talk to you on Monday when you carry me hard will again.
Yeah, you're the carry at that point, dude. You're I'm pretty sure you're out damaging both of my characters. Definitely my hero at this point.
No, I'm pretty sure your hero does more damage to phase 3 Lucid than I do.
Well, we could BA it, see where we get.
I mean, you're also 40k stat on the thing. So.
Yeah, the hero does chunk a little bit, but he's only like 240, right? So you do get a lot of benefits from extra node slots and that kind of stuff.
I guess. Yeah, when are you getting that thing to 250? I mean, your mom's working on her next.
Yeah, I don't know, man. She's got like behind. 6 or 7. Yeah, I'm so behind. And her Pathfinder is also 260. But in my defense, okay, if I got a 275, that's worth a bunch of 250s, all right?
It's worth like maybe 250. Like
one?
Maybe 1.5. Maybe.
Okay, I don't feel like you're being very generous in that.
I'm not.
In that assessment. It might have something to do with the fact that I want your mom to be outclassing you in video game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, that and like if you can get your hero to, I think an arcane weapon on your hero will do more for you in the long term. So, I think having the hero start doing H will sooner, like you can actually probably just start coming on the hero.
Yeah, I don't know though because I've got the 20-star. 20-star Abzo, right? So that's already quite a bump to have to go over. Plus, I've also got the Kaiserium, so I'm not sure if I want to go for the... Like, do I want to go for the 17 Arcane, or do I want to try to get a 21 Kaiserium? I don't know.
I think that, but the fact that you already have a 21
shoulder,
Arcane shoulder, pretty much takes care of all those decisions, and
the cape drop
flame
also.
Advantage. And the what drop?
He's got a cape drop also.
Yeah. Not mad about it at all. So I, 20-star Abzo is pretty hard to like get over that hump, but in the long term, it would be better.
Yeah.
And I mean, between the hero and the marksman, which one do you think has the better chance of making it to Tenebris bosses? Right.
Marksman's getting some nice changes, but yeah, just hero seems more solid across the board. I would say
survivability alone, like hero wins hands down.
Yeah, marksman has the range as a benefit, but yeah, that's about it.
Range does not help you in Gloom or Darknell. Range hurts you in Darknell.
A little bit of Darknell, yeah.
So
yeah, that super long cooldown iframe is not quite that reliable. Yeah.
But thank you for sitting down and doing the progression session. Thank you for letting me show off my 8400 Legion.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's put the flex on the screen a little bit more. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That mage piece though, it's like all the way up there. Like you go hang out there. I'm not fitting you in.
I have no idea what to do with it. All right.
So shit. My mom has 2 of those. It's horrible.
Like maybe you can surround it with the pirate pieces or something.
Yeah, you have to
It's
like
just-
encapsulate it. You have to like put it down as fast as possible and then just bunch up everything else around it so that you just forget that it's even there. If you leave it, it always leaves like corners, right? So it's like you want to, I just put it up top here. Is like, oh no, then this piece can never be filled.
Yeah, just 250 pieces in general are obnoxious. Like
Yeah.
you can't even do anything with the archer pieces, and they're straight fucking lines.
Yeah, you have to like put them down the side or make them fill out a corner. The warrior pieces are okay. They're quite handy, but like even the luck pieces are like it's a really long stick sticking out.
Oh god.
Did you see the 250 Xenon piece? It's like, what the fuck
yes,
is
I
this
have.
abomination? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Cheerkay is immediately in the chat. Xenon piece keg W. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? It's almost as bad as like the lab piece, but the lab piece is probably 1.5, of course, because it's an extra. But yeah.
Yeah, it's free.
Free.
Yeah, bring back lab.
Yeah. On the last note, bring back lab and bring back
Dark Lords of Darkness.
Dark Lords of Darkness, please, Nexon.
Yep. My
All
Kain
right.
desperately needs totems. I don't even have the
Yeah.
Afterlands.
Man, I still only have golds in my hero and my arc. I did 2 full events every single day. Didn't skip a single day on either one of them. Didn't see a single dark for my stat. Unlucky. And then I have like 8 other characters that I'll never play that have like 3 darks for their stat. Just as a big fuck you. Oh well.
Yep.
Oh well.
Alright, so what are you doing next? Make us dungeon?
I think so, yeah, because I'll just, when I'm like chilling a little bit and I don't need the concentration and everything anymore, then I can always just go over the patch notes and stuff. That's a little bit easier to go through.
Wait,
Loading
is that
in-
a 260 Kain? Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
currently number 9 on the leaderboard.
Number 9.
Yep. I'll be passed pretty soon by our other guild, Kain Boy.
E-Boy Vane.
Yep. Kain Boy Vane. He's going hard.
He's up
I
and
think
coming.
he should be hitting 259 today.
I think he's already 259.
Is he?
I think he'll
man.
feel the hit when he hits 260 as well, though. Because it's like, ooh,
Oh,
these
dude, that first totem after
staying in
hitting-
Limina, like, these rates are not what they used to be.
Oh yeah, he is 259.
Yeah. He's actually 280. Yeah, I added it to make it look like 260, but he's actually 280 Kain, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine 280 Kain is only that rank 9, guys. These guys are going
Yep.
hard. But yeah, well, I'll see you in the chat probably, unless you're super busy with work.
Yeah, work is. I can't talk about that in a video, but oh my god.
Stressful? Is that the word we're gonna go
Catastrophic. Even.
for? Okay.
Yeah,
The word catastrophic comes to mind.
it's.
Yeah.
It's like my company is a completely different company as
Oh.
of 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow. Change of management? Or?
Same name. No, same name. Just.
Oh.
Yeah, but we can talk about that when we're not recording a YouTube video.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Okay, we'll do that.
Yep. All right, go do your outro.
Yep,
Talk
I'll
to you
do
later.
that. Yep, see ya. Bye.
Bye.
So for the outro, we have something special. Actually, I should have mentioned it before the video that I was going to say something cool in the outro, but this is even better because now only the true loyal listeners who are here still waiting all the way until the end will be able to participate, and I think that's even better. I said able to twice there. Only the real good listeners caught onto that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through all of the comments on the progression videos, specifically the progression videos, at the end of the month, end of September, and I'll be picking out 2 winners who can get a free progression session with me that will plan in, like, you know, the first week or 2 of August. And I'll start doing that every month from now. So all the people who watch these videos, who like these videos, who want one of these sessions for themselves as well, and, you know, there's already links so you can request your own progression sessions. But for the people who are watching this on YouTube, of course, the people who are watching it live could go to the YouTube video when it goes live as well. Just leave a comment and just have it be apparent from the comment that you would like to win. And then at the end of the month, I will draw 2 winners, and I will contact you through Discord, most likely. So maybe include your Discord name or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I think I could send DMs. I could just reply to your comment on YouTube. So stay tuned. Leave a comment if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, you can also leave a comment and still, like, hate win one. You know, you can get one over me. And you can humble flex like Smidley did here, or you can have actual questions and actually be stuck in the game and need a lot of advice. And of course, if there's any systems in the game that you need more explanation on, you can do that. But Anything else you want to talk about the game, you can also do. You could talk about suggestions you have for the game. You could talk about maybe a boss fight that you have that you're just really stuck on, you can't get through. You could do a recording of the boss fight and send it to me, and we can go over it together and analyze the boss fight and help you forward, work on your positioning, work on what your account needs to be working on to make sure that you can survive the boss fight. Anything that you want to do in the allotted time. It's about an hour and a half session, so you'll be able to be master of what you want to talk about, and we'll just set it up on Discord and everything. Make sure we have all the information. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments. Other than that, as always, if you have data for me, battle analysis, monster skill per hour, or training videos of you in high level areas, so like Tenebris and up, like the new Neo Grandis area. Anything like that, you can send me the data. If you want to join the guild, there's a link for that as well. And again, if you want one of these sessions and you don't want to wait a whole month and you don't want to wait for a giant queue of people, there's quite a lot of people signing up, so the sooner the better. The sooner you respond, the faster we can actually do the session and get you to move forward, so you don't have to wait until events. You know, there's a 5, 10, 15 coming up, so keep that in mind. For that, everything like that, there's links in the description. Other than that, I'll just thank you for watching all the way to the end. Good luck for the people who want to win. And I'll see you on the next one, which I think is tomorrow? Oh no, it's a private session tomorrow. I think I'll do one on Monday again. So I'll see you guys pretty soon. Right, see you then.